It's over. Sell all of your cryptocurrency extremely fast. The end is near. At least that's what you'd think if you're listening to Warren Buffett, as he has now come out with another shot at cryptocurrency. This one perhaps even more direct, because it's talking about, even at this point, he believes it will come to a very bad ending. This is the quote from Warren Buffett. They will come to a very bad ending. Now, though, Warren Buffett is continuing to really harp on cryptocurrency in a big way. He believes Dogecoin is done. He believes Dogecoin is going to go to zero. Apparently, Bitcoin's going to fall to $100. I mean, he's one of the biggest cryptocurrency haters I've ever seen in the history of cryptocurrency haters. But let's take a deeper look at this, because one thing a lot of people know about Warren Buffett is he's an investor, but you may not know exactly what he's holding. And when you see what Warren Buffett is holding, it makes a lot more sense why he hates cryptocurrency so much and why it's very easy to ignore his pleas to sell crypto to everyone else. He wants you to sell. He wants you to get rid of all your crypto. And what does he want you to buy instead? Well, one of these stocks. Of course, the first one, his biggest holding right now, not surprising considering his views on cryptocurrency, is Bank of America. It's almost like he has a $1.01 billion stake in cryptocurrency doing bad by having his most popular investment, his biggest investment through Berkshire Hathaway, as Bank of America, Apple, Coca-Cola, Kraft, all of these very systematic top cryptos for the most part. There's a couple that are a little bit smaller, Paramount Global a little bit smaller, NU Holdings a little bit smaller, but still nonetheless, it just goes to show you why you should never trust Warren Buffett when he tells you, sell your cryptocurrency is going to go down, it's all over, everything's a failure. Of course it is, to someone who wants you to invest in stocks instead, when the truth is, cryptocurrency is just barely getting started. We have a long way left to go in cryptocurrency. Right now, we're in a low point. It's going to spike up significantly higher than its previous all-time highs. You just got to be a little patient. But we do have some other big news to talk about, which is, of course, Elon Musk now displaying stock and cryptocurrency prices directly. So they went ahead and did this through a partnership. They're still adding Dogecoin on. They have not done that yet, but they are going to. They're going to be adding Dogecoin on. They're going to add other cryptos. That's pretty cool. It's nothing too crazy, but it just is more fun. It makes the Twitter experience better, and it embraces crypto in a nice way. You love to see that. We also have this, which I think is really cool. Elon Musk, a lot of low-hanging fruit. It's amazing that Twitter had 7,500 employees. Elon Musk, by the way, continuing to fire more even now. He's fired more than half of them. Some estimates as high as 70 to 75% of employees at Twitter have been fired, and Twitter's running smoother than ever. Just goes to show you how unnecessary so many of those extra paychecks were that Twitter had added on there. A lot of them hires for random social things that wouldn't necessarily actually have an impact on profits, and they clearly didn't, because Twitter was losing so much money per year, over $200 million. Tweets, though, read 100 times more than they're liked. That's one of the features he just implemented. You can see now how many times a tweet has been viewed. This one viewed 11 million times, liked 164,000 times, which is cool. Typically, I've had to go here to see that. And by the way, we're up to 708,000 mentions this month, which is more than the 690,000 from last month, up 8%. That's crazy to see. 708,000 times someone has done at MattWallace88 on Twitter in just the last 28 days. We've had our followers grow by almost 200,000 in the last few months. I mean, it's pretty incredible what's happened since Elon Musk has taken over. A lot more energy, a lot more fun on Twitter. You love to see that. It's definitely good for Dogecoin as well. Look at that. I even commented under his tweet there. Some people also talking about this. Zelensky from Ukraine came to Washington, D.C., and Washington, D.C. has agreed to give Zelensky more money. It's a very controversial decision because some people are saying, well, what about the United States? Shouldn't the United States have some of its own issues solved first before going to other countries? Then some people are saying, well, but Ukraine needs the money. So there's kind of a debate going on. I want to know what you think. Do you think that the United States should send money, or do you think this responsibility should fall onto other countries in Europe who are neighbors of Ukraine? Which one do you think makes more sense, or do you think it should be neither, or maybe both? I would love to know your opinion. A lot of controversy around this, and the truth is it's hard to actually know what's best here because you really could go either way. At the end of the day, the United States really should focus more money, regardless of if some money is given to Ukraine as well, should focus more money on helping our own country. That's where I live. It may not be where you live, but wherever you live, you want your own country focusing on your priorities. And then, for example, if Canada got invaded, I feel like the United States, it would be an extreme responsibility to help, right? But if it's somewhere far across the world, you'd think that the countries in Europe who are near would be more inclined to help first, and then the United States would play a smaller role. Whereas now the United States is playing the biggest role. It just doesn't exactly seem like what would happen. So I'm a little confused by the whole situation and why it's happening the way it is. But then again, perhaps there's something I'm not thinking about. Tell me if there is. I would love to know. That's the update on that story. A lot of people talking about it on Twitter, which, by the way, it's nice that you can freely talk about it. You weren't even able to freely talk about it under the previous Twitter administration. You get shadow banned, or you get your account deleted or suspended, or have your tweet taken down. All these crazy things. Now, none of that's happening. It's definitely good to see. By the way, Sam Bankman-Fried, more details about his $250 million bail. He's going to be living with his parents. Where the heck he got this $250 million to bail himself out of jail? I don't know. Did he have a secret bank account stashed? Was this the $2 billion that went missing from the FTX through the back door? Where did he get this money? What the heck is going on? But now he's living in his parents' mansion. Must be nice. Most criminals can't afford bail. Most criminals do not get that opportunity, even in many cases, when it's something as big as this. Will he try to run? That's a good question. Sam Bankman-Fried, if he has $250 million, he has enough money to hide anywhere in the world he wants to hide. So I don't think that was a smart move to let him go out on bail. But then again, I mean, that is the way that the system works. I get it. If he's allowed, then everyone else, if everyone else is allowed, I mean, why is he treated any different? I mean, that is one of the good things about the United States, typically speaking, except for in some cases where politics are involved, which is actually scary. But besides those cases, the justice system is pretty fair to everyone and doesn't treat you differently based on the level of your crime in terms of its publicity. And overall, that's a good thing. But in this case, it does feel a little bit weird because you'd think they wouldn't be doing that, especially considering that Dogecoin is still nowhere to be found. Where the heck is the dude? I mean, if you go to certain countries, you can escape extradition forever. And so if Sam Bankman-Fried wants to charter a jet with one of his 250 millions, wherever he got that money from, I don't know. I mean, some sources were saying someone else paid it or something along those lines. We don't know the full details of how he got that money quite yet. Some sources are saying something, some sources are saying the other. But once we get more information, I'll definitely keep you updated on that. If it is true that someone paid for it for him, if a company paid for it, if someone loaned it to him, if one of those things is true, then perhaps that would be different. Because remember, it's not like he's never going to get the 250 million back. He actually will. At the end of the day, when bail is done and you go and show up to your court date, you get that money back. So that's what's weird about this. That's why it's very hard to understand how they're even allowing this to happen. Because if $250 million is something he has, then why would he even care about that amount of money? That's going to go to the government and to the people anyway. If the government does get to keep that bail money, it would just go directly to customers, which is what would happen anyway. So there's really no incentive for him to show up to his court date, financially at least. The only incentive is that he would go to jail for longer, or even potentially at all if he somehow can escape it. He would definitely go to jail if he does try to run. And so I think that could be the main factor keeping him in the United States. By the way, this is a very wholesome video. So Elon Musk, you probably have seen the story in one way or the other. Maybe you haven't heard of the update yet. But there's a YouTuber. I actually do know who he is. I've seen his videos before. The way I know him, there's a bigger YouTuber named Eric who had him as one of the main characters on his show. And so that's actually how I heard about him for the first time. If you've heard about him, you probably did from that as well. Anyway, he has his own channel now. He does crazy stunts and stuff, and he's been trying to hug Elon Musk for a while. At first, I was supporting him, and then he did do one thing I didn't like, which is he told Elon Musk's mom, he told people to go spam his mom, which I thought, okay, that's crossing a line. But he apologized for that. And so back to the fun, back to the wholesomeness. Now Elon Musk has agreed to hug him, which I think is hilarious and fun and awesome, and Fidias deserves it because he's been waiting outside for so long, doing so many things to try to get Elon Musk's attention for this. It's pretty funny. But I will say, this video is very wholesome. So Elon Musk goes and shakes the kid's hand, and the kid's like, you know, there's a YouTuber trying to hug you. And he's like, oh yeah, wait, do you think I should hug him? Are you sure? And the kids were like, yes, hug him. Which is just, it's amazing to think, like, imagine you have 30 seconds and, you know, you're just out of game. You see Elon Musk, you can say anything you want to him. And imagine, it's just so cool to see kids, how innocent they are, how they're like, oh yeah, just hug a YouTuber. Like, that's, you can say anything to him. That's what you want to say. That's pretty dang fun. Very wholesome, very good. And of course, Fidias is very, very happy about that. He's getting some good publicity from it. Hopefully he can make some money on merch sales. Like, I just hugged Elon or something. If he's entrepreneurial, he'll probably do that. I mean, would people find that unpopular? I don't know. I mean, hey, I mean, you're an influencer. You want to sell merch? Why not? You spend the time, you put the effort in, you entertain people, sell the merch, make some money. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. An Elon Musk hug shirt. Would you buy an Elon Musk hug shirt? That would be a little strange. I mean, he is a grown man, and you know, would you, as another grown man, which is probably statistically speaking, based on the viewers of my show, that's what you are. You're a grown man. Would you wear a grown man hugging another grown man on your shirt? I mean, maybe if you're a big fan of Elon Musk, but that would be a little strange. Maybe you can find a different angle for the merch. Maybe it doesn't have to be a hug shirt. It could be anything. It could be whatever he wants. I mean, it would still be like a cool overall design. It would be interesting at the very least, even if there are a couple strange things about it compared to what a normal shirt perhaps would look like. Hangouts, hit your boy, says the I don't know what you're referring to there. Then let's read a couple of these comments. Someone said, oh my gosh, are you going to quit if Doge does not hit $1? I see a pattern in these videos. Says Carlos, what's the pattern you see? Still watching until 1. Doge gonna spank BTC soon. I agree with that. There's no doubt about it. 9 more days before bye-bye, says Trouble 797. Causing trouble is Trouble 797. We shall see. He's not going to do that, says Beeden3. Come on now. Matt just gets too excited about Doge sometimes and says things he doesn't mean. Says Beeden3. Dean L says, I love him. And Doge. Or I think that's what he's referring to. But anyway, the point is, some people want me to delete my channel, some people don't. But at the end of the day, tune in for a live stream on the last day of the year where we will say farewell. It is time to say farewell. I love you guys. I have another channel as well, which is, of course, Matt Wallace Millionaire. You can go check it out now. I post Elon Musk updates on Matt Wallace Millionaire. That channel is growing very fast. Already a couple videos with tens of thousands of views. So that channel is going to be a lot of fun to post on. You're welcome to check it out. I'll put a link in the description and pinned comment. Anyway, I'm Matt Wallace. This is Final Stand, and I will see you in the next video.